I'm speaking from the balcony of my house, and today's my air is a little bit short, so you might hear some noise from the street if the kids are playing. Greatest change to my life these past 3 years of cancer has been a change in perspective. And that's what I want to talk about today. And I'm going to use some notes to help me. Okay. Today I see love, whereas before I saw abandonment. I once saw anxiousness, but now I see peace. I really do. Questions have been replaced with trust because. And I'm going to use the book of Job to help me explain that. Now, Job 1 verse 8. Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil." What does that mean? It means that he was authentic. He backed up his words. What he said, what he did rather, is what he said. The two were one. You could count on him. Okay? He had strong character. You could trust him. He suffered shortly after this statement was made. Job suffered tremendously. He lost all his children, and he lost all his money. And this is the response to losing all his children and all his money. And it's Job 1 verses 21, 22. "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. I mean, that's incredible. He lost all his children. Yes, he was the most righteous man in the world, but that doesn't prepare you for losing all your children. Now, shortly after losing his children and losing his wealth, he then lost his health. He had these horrible boils. It says from the soles of his feet to the top of his head. Pain like all over his body. I can't imagine how horrible that is. And I didn't want you to think, oh well, that Job was just like a superhero. He could handle anything. I want you to. I'm going to read out a verse that expresses how he feels when he loses his health. "Therefore, I will not keep silent. I will speak out in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul." He wanted to die. He was in so much agony. Until one thing happened, and this changed everything. God spoke to Job. Job's anger changed because he heard the tiniest bit of God's knowledge. Just the tiniest bit of his knowledge. The tiniest small fragment of his understanding. Okay? He talks about creativity, creating the world. And man, when you read these chapters, he is speaking as a creator, so there's some poetic language here. But you get just the smallest, just the smallest amount of again knowledge of what he knows, and that tiniest bit is enough to blow you away. Job was very angry when he experienced physical suffering. He was no superhero who couldn't be hurt. He experienced tremendous pain. And all that anger that he experienced changed. And everything changed when he heard the tiniest bit of God's knowledge. The smallest fragment of his understanding. The hint of God's experience as our Creator. And that was tremendous. It made Job humble. Job saw how what he knew was so insignificant. It just completely changed his life. Okay? At the beginning, we saw Job's righteousness. Okay? His morals were upright, and he wanted nothing to do with evil. At the end of Job, we see Job's mercy. While Job was still suffering, before a hint that suffering will end, Job prayed that God would forgive his friends. So he started to reveal mercy in his heart.